Hi there. Today we're going to be talking about variables and expressions and how to go from an expression to words and how to go from words to an expression. So starting off here with a couple of definitions. First off, a variable is a symbol, usually a letter, that represents a number. A lot of times you'll see X, Y as variables. These just represent a number. We don't always know what that number is. We don't always have to find out what that number is, but a variable always represents a quantity, a certain amount. As we said, it's usually a letter. They won't always be letters. You could use a smiley face for every single step of a problem if you wanted to, but that might make the problem take longer. So we generally just use letters because those are easy to write, easy to remember. An expression is a mathematical phrase that can have both numbers and variables. For instance, an example of an expression would be 3 plus 7. This is what I mean by a mathematical phrase. We have what's the equivalent of a mathematical sentence right here. We've got numbers, we have an operation here. So this is an expression that only contains numbers. I could also have, for instance, x plus 2. This is what we call an algebraic expression because it contains a variable. So anytime an expression contains a variable, that makes an algebraic expression, and anytime it just contains numbers, it's called a numeric expression. But both of these are examples of an expression. Alright, so if we want to go from a word phrase to an expression, what this basically means is I'm going to take this sentence right here, the sum of 11 and 3 times b, and I'm going to write out an expression. So anytime I see the word sum, that should make you think plus. So we know we're going to have plus sign. Well, what are we adding together? Well, we know one of the things we're adding is 11, so let's put that first. And if we have 3 times b, we can just write that as 3b. So this is our expression to go with our word phrase. This is the sum of 11 and 3 times b. So 11 plus 3b is our expression there. Now if we want to go the other direction, we say we want an expression to go with, to translate to a word phrase. We start with this. We have a minus 7. Well, I can write that as a word phrase literally the same way that I just said that. So a minus 7. But I can also write this different ways. This is one way that's correct. I can also say 7 less than a. Since we're taking 7 things away from a, whatever we get is going to be 7 less than a. So that's another way I can write this out, 7 less than a. So both of these are examples of word phrases that we got from this one expression. Generally, you're only going to be asked for one word phrase per expression, but there is more than one way of writing things correctly.